Hello and welcome to Loot Tycoon. This is an auto battler where you kind of manage your adventurer as he goes into dungeons and tries to achieve as many kills as possible, as many little bit of loot drops as he can. If you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. Let's start. As you can see, I already have a relatively advanced save here, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to show you the basic version of how you're going to begin the game, just so that you can kind of get an idea as to the progression. Because what we're going to do is we're going to just show the very small amount of early game, and then I'm going to show you slightly more advanced character. So basically this is how you start. You have 0 gold. This is your shopkeeper right here, and you can upgrade everything. It's an incremental game, as you might expect. I love incremental games, so I am very much on board with this. And you can see here that you have customer flow bonus. That basically means how fast customers come in, as far as I'm aware. And otherwise you can upgrade everything else: health, damage, lifesteal, drop item value bonuses, critical hit, health potion capacity, so on and so forth, right? And then you obviously have your equipment. You can of course equip your adventurer with pretty much anything you want. Chest, gloves, runes, all kinds of crazy cool stuff. And you also have the ability to immediately automatically equip items and auto restock items onto your counter here. So when you open your warehouse, which is your little treasure chest right here, you're going to have items that you can then place onto the counter. And when you place them onto the counter, customers are going to come in, they'll pay the price, and you'll gain the gold from the sale of the item, and then you can continue onward and you can go and adventure. Basically, you can do that no matter what. You can pretty much, what you can do is place the items on the counter and immediately go for a battle. And you can see here, boom, look at this. We're going in here, and there is auto loot as well. As you can see, we are going to be looting everything automatically. There are a significant amount of filters that you can go for too. So if you don't want to pick up white items, for example, then you don't have to. And indeed, you are going to have to initially click on the continue battle button, but that doesn't actually remain the case. You will be able to automate that after the first couple of runs. Maybe even after the first run, you're going to have the ability to do that. So I can just click right there right now, and we're not going to have too many issues. Now, the problem is, I'm not entirely sure if I'm even going to be able to survive this. I do have a potion, so I will be able to do that. And as you can see, I can discard the cheapest items. So if I don't want to have everything, because let's face it, maybe I don't have enough space in my inventory or something like that, I'm actually going to take this healing potion. Can I take this healing potion right now? Maybe he's going to take it automatically. I actually don't know. I guess we'll see whether he decides to do that or not. Ah, no, there we go. I've actually got the treasure. Okay, that's pretty fantastic. I'm not entirely sure why we're not looting all this stuff. I guess it could be because these are all literally like 1 gold, so it's not really that useful, I guess. But yeah, I think we should be fine here. So let's continue onward. And this is the treasure chest. This is your first ever adventure, by the way. And look at how much. Whoa! Just got a legendary. Very nice. And there you go. That is basically the game. That is pretty much the game right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to slowly advance. And look at this. I actually got a legendary. 10% chance on hit to trigger 1 sweeping slash, dealing 200% to nearby enemies. And you can see here, I can equip it on myself. We can equip basically everything that we like here. I can put some runes on as well. And these things are going to be increasing our overall, well, everything. We could put a shield on ourselves as well. That's going to provide us with a small bonus there, because if you have a shield, apparently it does give you a small set bonus or something like that, which I very much appreciate. And otherwise, apart from that, usually I'd be able to just press on auto restock or quick restock or something like that, and it would immediately put all my items on the counter here if I wanted that. But as we don't currently have that, I'm going to have to do it manually. So all I do is I just click here, and then it just drops everything onto the counter. And you can see here that little guys and, well, various other denizens will come in here and basically be like, oh yes, I would like to purchase all of your stuff. Thank you very much. And indeed, you can speed this up as well. As you can see, there is a little speed up button right there. If you thought it was going to be slow, well, no, it's actually pretty quick. And generally, I would say one thing that I would really like to see. I'm not entirely sure whether they're planning on implementing anything else into the game. I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to continue working on it, but let's just say that I go into my inventory screen here. What I would love to see is an auto-equip button or something that allows me to immediately equip upgraded items. Because sometimes you're going to be having a significant amount of stuff in your warehouse, and maybe you don't want to go through all of that and actually see which one is better. So I'd love to have an auto equip button down here somewhere for the items, or at the very least maybe some way for us to tell whether an item is really, really good in comparison to what we currently have on. And you can see here that once we have our weapon, you'll see now that we have a legendary weapon, this is super fast. Look at this. We can literally go in here and immediately just absolutely murder everything. I am going to be looting ordinary merchandise, but not ordinary equipment. Let's just take that. Thank you very much. So now what we can do is this. Look at this. We can now auto next floor. Boom. And it immediately takes us to the next floor right there, instantaneously. And obviously we can once again discard the cheapest item. And I gotta say, I'm not that big of a fan of the flash on the screen. As you can see right there, we are having a pretty hefty flash from the legendary item that we just picked up, which is unfortunate because, well, when you're playing it with speed up, it does, you know, flash you quite a bit, which is, you know, as I say, unfortunate. But I love the game. I actually really, really love the game. I think it's extremely enjoyable. Obviously, I wouldn't have played it by myself if that was the case. But because, you know, that's the point. I enjoy these kinds of games. I love these kinds of games. And these are the kinds of things that I do play in my spare time. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I want to show this to you, you know? I want to show this to you. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to go to the main menu because I want to show you my more advanced character here. And we're going to see how it's going to go, because things do get kind of crazy. So we are going to go over here. This is adventure level 11. Obviously, I have no idea how bonkers it can actually get, but I guess we'll see. So we do have a fine legendary warrior rune right here. Ah, that's level 5. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, most of my stuff is level 6 and above. I actually do need to replace my ring. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why I have this. Why do I have a level 4? Why do I have a level 4 on me? Okay, that's kind of weird. Not entirely sure, but yeah, as you can see, we've replaced these two things down here. I have 5,600 gold. These are my stats at the moment. As you can see, I've leveled up my damage relatively nicely. We can also level up our health if we want to. I have not actually found that I am, taking too much damage, or I've never really gotten myself into a problematic situation before. So let's actually just see. Let's just see how we go here, because I'm going to go in. This is the first time I've gone into this level 12 battle. You can see here that we are actually destroying everything very, very nicely here. And indeed, you can see the items that have dropped, and you can see what kind of cost they have. What I generally tend to do now is I generally tend not to take white items, purely because blue and above are so much better. They are really, really so much better in comparison. It just in general, but you know, from their price point, from the from the potential stats that they provide, and obviously now here's the thing: once you get to level 10 adventures, you are going to see an additional level that you're going to be doing with your character here. So usually in sub 10 levels, you're going to have four separate little sections that you have to go through. But the once you get to above level 10, you're going to be fighting 5. And I'm assuming once you get to level 20, they're going to add an additional one on top of that as well. So there's that. Anyway, there we go. I just dropped a bunch of cheap items. I love the fact that there is a button there that just allows you to discard the really, really cheap items. I think that is a super nice quality of life improvement. I always love those kinds of quality of life improvements. That's the reason why I say, yeah, having a button that is just basically an auto-equip would be really, really appreciated. I would love that, because that makes it so much easier for people like me who are extremely lazy. Yes. you know, equip stuff. Let me just place this round about here. I'm just going to try to replace all of these level 8s, even though they are legendaries. I'm not entirely sure if this is... I don't know whether level is the thing that really matters or the rarity. I'm going to assuming kind of both. I assume both is the way to go here. But yeah, I'm basically just trying to make sure that we have the best possible stuff here, and yeah, that's the reason why I really would like a auto equip button. So yeah, auto restock. So this is what you get when you spend 3,000. It's absolutely insane, because look at that, instantaneous placement down on the counter, and your customers are going to come in, they're going to haggle a little bit, and then they're going to, you know, give you their gold, and they're going to immediately do that, and your warehouse is going to continuously give you cash, and I can go on to the next adventure straight away, and my shopkeeper is going to continue doing that while I am in the adventure itself. So there isn't any need to wait. You can just do whatever you want to do. You can go in, you can stay, you can just relax, you can do whatever. And from my perspective, this is one of those sort of like perfect incremental games for me personally, because it's satisfying to have numbers go up, you know, because that's generally what it's all about, of course. But it is also obviously very, very enjoyable to get that loot and to see just how far you can go, how much you can actually buff yourself, and how much your character can progress. Because obviously, as you saw at the very beginning, we were, well, I mean, to be honest, we were actually destroying things pretty quickly, but these enemies right here, these enemies, they're actually pretty difficult in comparison to what we were facing at the very start, right? Like, it's not an easy thing to eliminate these guys, especially the boss, right? This is the boss, the Overlord, as it were. And the Overlord is actually kind of hard, because only a small amount of time ago, I was having issues defeating these bosses. They were taking a long, long time to defeat, but I literally upgraded my damage, and now look at me. Now I am absolutely destroying everything in sight, and everything is working very, very nicely. I'm actually going to go for dual wield. Let's use dual wield, shall we? I think that sounds like a pretty fun idea. Let's use dual wield and see how that goes. We can obviously place a couple of things down here. What about this? Replace that a little bit. What about a necklace? Do we want to put a blue necklace on instead? I don't think so, right? I don't think a blue necklace is going to be that useful. So I think what we're going to do is we're literally just going to auto restock right here, and I can immediately go into the next adventure if I had warehouse space, because you could see here it says warehouse full. You cannot enter the adventure just yet, unless I could go to the upgrade screen and I could give myself more warehouse space. Obviously that is, you know, basically the whole point. You know, you're trying to upgrade yourself dramatically here, so that's kind of the whole deal here, isn't it? Yeah, we could go for additional item rarity, and you can see now we can literally go straight on in to the adventure, and you can see we can start once again. So that is the entire point. Look at that nice auto restock right there. Absolutely love that. But yeah, that is pretty much, as I have said, that is pretty much the gameplay loop. I personally find it fun. Maybe you don't, I don't know. But what I would like to see is, as I say, auto restock. I'd like to see more upgrades. Obviously, I mean, there are a significant amount as it is. It's not really necessary to add a whole bunch more of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would like. I don't know really. I think just auto restock, auto equip of upgraded items. That would be the most perfect thing. And you can see how much money we're going to make here. It's absolutely insane, actually, how much money you can make from the runes specifically. Runes do give you the most cash, as far as I can tell. And you can see here, look at that, how insanely fast that is. Oh yeah, one other thing. One thing I'd love to see upgradable is the counter space. I would love to see counter space be upgradable, but maybe there's some sort of like technical limitation or whatever, because all of these items are 3D rendered in the game world, and the NPCs can actually pick them up and then walk off with them. So, you know, I assume maybe there's a technical limitation in regards to how many, you know, can be can be placed on there at any one time. I'm not entirely sure, but I do very much appreciate it. And indeed, let's actually have a look here. I can increase this a little bit more. There you go. 100% customer flow bonus. And we can once again, as I said, we're now going to do a little bit of dual wielding. Let's see how the dual wield actually works. Obviously, we're going to get flashbanged a little bit here. Yeah, we're going to get flashbanged a little bit here, so I'm sorry about that. But, you know, that's just, that's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. And we have our wonderful legendary weapon here. We have a 20% chance for that to sweep all over the place there. And indeed, you can open your inventory at any time, as you see here, and then you can see exactly what you're getting. Some of these blue items actually don't really feel that good. Like you can see here, they're about 45 gold, which is not exactly great. Some of the white items, the common items, are actually better, surprisingly enough. But yeah, you can see how much damage we're actually... Look at my damage right now. My damage is actually insane. Look at that. That was crazy. I destroyed that boss in literally, what, 5 seconds or something like that? Yeah. And let me tell you, it was actually taking much, much longer beforehand. It's kind of crazy. All right, so let's actually just do something like that. We got a critical hit damage plus 51%. That's kind of crazy. Do I really want to do that though? Not really. Let's just upgrade this. See, now this is exactly what happens. You're gonna get... well, for me personally, I get carried away with these kinds of things, and I just want to see how far I can go. And you can see here, all these runes are going to be just amazing to sell. I need some gloves. Oh yeah, look at that. I actually need some gloves. Look at that. I've only got level 5 gloves. That's terrible. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do that. But as you can see, boom, auto restock immediately, and then I can go right back on into the adventure. Anyway, if you would like to check out Loot Tycoon, there is a link in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.